Awesome. So I think for those who did not or were not able to watch our information session yesterday, which was late in the evening, I think if you are in India or Australia, Japan, Singapore, then it was kind of close to midnight, or maybe even past midnight. So the whole purpose of us talking about live AI, and you've been hearing probably maybe a bit more information that you would like to sort of see, because social media can push a lot of media messages in your face. That's why we decided to bring the live AI information sessions to you, and we will be doing a few of them in repetition. So we will keep bringing these to you, because obviously we are developing the curriculum and the product is also under development, and we are very close to launching our web platform, and we want to make sure that you are succeeding in actually the course that we are developing for you. So I already have some wonderful friends on LinkedIn. Hi, Sheikh. Hi, Kanaka Subramaniam. Ahmad. Hi, you're from Netherlands. Great, I see that. Cool. So we can show that already. Ahmed, hi. Savita, hi. Nice to see you. Sheikh Abdullah, nice to see you as well. Really wonderful. So great, awesome. So basically, the whole purpose of this this program of information session is for me and Tanishta, or Tani. Actually, she's Dr. Tanishta Mehti. But yeah, last session we had a lot of fun. So say hi to Tanishta as well, guys.
Hi, Stani.
This is Tani, but obviously, so we are going to do it in a structured way, so you get a full understanding of what is this all about. So first of all, I am so excited to have you guys in this session, and it's totally no problem if for some weird reason you are not able to watch this live session. This is recorded, and we'll keep showing this back to you. You can you can watch it later as well. But the good thing about this program is we have people from Peru as well. Hi, Carlos. So basically, the whole purpose of this information session is to give you the perspective of, first of all, our vision, why we started with live AI. And I will do that in my introduction. Second, we will go about our introductions of Tanishta Mehti, who is a lead instructor in live AI platform. She's also part of our management team. So she's one of the management leaders inside our Deep Kapha company. And she's part of several key decision-making processes for our company, including hiring smart people like you. And she plays a very important role in that. But obviously, she's a scientist. She's a geophysicist, but I'll let her explain that. After the introduction, we will go and give you a little bit of a sneak peek into what we are developing. Next week, we are already starting with beta program, which is a private beta for university in Dallas. So for international students and also professionals, if you are interested in that beta, I will provide you a link for that beta, and you can already participate in case you want to join next week. But the course, as you can see here on this the screen that I have shared with you, is going to start on the 1st of November. So remember, you still have time. And that's why there's a wait list. And if you're interested, you can always be part of that wait list. And there's an interesting discount. And as you can see, the cost is totally we've kept the cost really low. It's close to about 90 to 92% below the remote boot camps, which a lot of other MOOC players do. So why we are keeping it low is because we want to make it accessible to everybody as soon as possible. So let's get back and talk about our vision. So my name is Terry. I am CEO, co-founder of LiveAI, but also a research company called DeepKapha.ai. For those who know Deep Kapha from our LinkedIn fun page, you see a lot of memes. What we try to do is we try to make interesting jokes, but also our underlying message is constantly talking about how beginners and intermediate, but also advanced data scientists can learn from each other. And yes, Shake, it's available remotely. I'll explain that later. So basically, the whole idea of us going online was actually born already close to 18 to 20 years ago when I was working at a university here in the Netherlands. So back then I was implementing a learning management system called Blackboard. It was a very young company. It's an American company, and today obviously each and every university student knows Blackboard. Everybody uses Blackboard. So when we were implementing Blackboard, I was struggling with the fact, because as not just as an implementer, I was in the technology department at the university. I was also responsible for teaching. So I used to give guest lectures inside our own university on entrepreneurship, software programming, and back then virtualization was a super hot topic. So I was teaching virtualization as well. This is 2005, 2006 timeframe. What we were beginning to struggle with was when you are trying to teach people on online platforms, you can have video, you can have all kinds of other things. And what you see is it's very difficult to understand the engagement between the students, because eventually the teacher, when you're standing and you're giving lecture, you have your Blackboard, as in the real Blackboard, and you have your software programs. It is almost practically impossible to understand how is a student one or a learner one or professional one performing. And so it's very easy to spot the ones who are learning fast. But the ones who are still in doubt, and we all get to be in doubt throughout our careers, it's a very normal thing because you're learning a new thing, so you obviously will have confusion. It's very difficult to find the social engagement in which people learn things from each other, because just like in high school, you teach something and then you sketch something. Hey, listen, this is how the matrices are, and when you do it, this is what inversion looks like, this is transposing. And we teach each other as students. I've learned from my peers in my high school back in India when I grew up. And that's the way you learn a lot of key important things. And blended learning is a way in which you try to find sort of these solutions between online and physical. But back then, obviously, Coursera didn't exist. There were some platforms like Sakai. There were also a MOOC platform called Moodle, higher education and K-12. They use Moodle a lot. And in fact, there was, Sakai was a wonderful sort of platform. And Charles Severance is a good connect of mine, who was also part of sort of building this whole ecosystem. He also is one of the key sort of leaders in Coursera. I worked with Charles. I was trying to find the solution, but it's totally impossible. And so, after spending a lot of my years, 10, 15 years of my career in the industry, and I learned a lot about industry projects, whether understanding the legal aspect of any project or technical aspects, project management, program management, understanding building data lakes, working together with diverse teams, understanding you're doing software programming, you're doing, you're a data scientist. It became clear to me that there has got to be a way that we bring this expertise together. So 4 years ago, I quit my very well-paying job, very high-end consulting job, and I traveled around the world. And this was in 2017 in the beginning. I was doing a few keynotes around the world, and eventually I realized that it's time for us to actually do this. And actually bring this platform, because Coursera was already launching and artificial intelligence was becoming a field, which is a passion of mine and my colleagues. And then that's the way the whole story started. So I hope you get an idea of the mission. That's very important, because when you see me posting things on LinkedIn or maybe on YouTube, I'm just a guy like anybody else. I want to actually really bring this 20 years of my story, in which I still remember Blackboard version 5, for example, and my colleagues still are there here at the university, not far away from where I live. I was on vacation and it just broke apart because it was still a new application, and I had to run away, leave my vacation, and my wife was very upset, and I had to actually do a lot of firefighting. But from 2005 to 2020, these ecosystems and platforms have evolved, thankfully. And today we are at this point where we are struggling with how to bring this online education in the most personal, immersive, and still teaching applied AI projects. How do we do this? So the last 3 years, I've been spending. I traveled around all over the world. I went to the Syrian border. I went to Iraq. I went to Qatar. I went to Oman. We are going as well next year. I traveled to South America and Brazil. I was in the U.S. all over the place in all universities, including Dallas, which is a university I also teach as a guest faculty. I went to India, obviously. It's a beautiful my home country. So that was been in Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi, all the places that I could. And all in all, I think we ended up teaching together with me and my capable colleagues about more than 27,000 people. Sometimes we were sitting in really open halls. There were like literally hundreds of students, all kinds of sort of in open fields. And then we were teaching that, and there were close to about 900 to close to 1,000 learners, and this is the real world. In Africa as well, we've been there, North Africa, every part of the world, and the more I learned, the more I realized that if the teaching is and has always been personal, and that will never change, never ever. And it's personal because I care about who I teach. I'm not interested in building an ecosystem with 10,000 or 100,000 people where I don't know who is who, where is someone else in his journey. And on LinkedIn, you're seeing today yourself. This is reality, by the way. The reality is people are saying, I had a sales job. I was a business development manager. I have 10 months. I'm about to lose my home. And you see this. I think I don't want to go deeper into that. I will explain to you in another class how to skill yourself in a crisis. We will have that on our platform as well. It's very important how to actually escape a crisis situation by learning different and diverse skills. These are the coaching. These are the real world stories, my own stories, Tanishta's own stories, May's own stories. We will teach you our real world. May has traveled around the world, and she was in US. Then she went to Paris to do her master's. Then she went to Sweden to actually do her master's and between PhD. Then she came to Germany. And then together with me, 2 years ago, I met her 2.5 years ago, a long time ago. And this is how I met Tanishta as well. She's traveled around as well. And she's gone from India to US and then to Canada. So we all have personal stories. We know what it is to be in a really, really difficult situation, but still focusing on our skill sets. I think it's very super important. Arab, it's great to meet you. I remember you as well, Arab Khan, in Bangalore. You came to me specifically to meet me from your hometown. Nice to have you here. So anyways, enough of blah, blah. The reality is we want to change this together with you. Your community support is what we need. We are going to launch an AI relief program as well to save students who are not able to pay their education. But I mean, this is the help we need from you. So while you're learning awesome stuff, you can also be part of this mission to actually really literally save someone's future. This is how you change the world. You don't change the world sitting around making nice fancy memes and talking about that I'm an AI leader. You change the world because you go down to ground floor, maybe you go into the basement, and from there you start talking to everybody else. This is how we have believed in. This is the culture of my team. So I hope this gives you a reasonable sort of in-depth understanding of our academic and our also from a teaching perspective and an industry experience, but also our personal stories. So it's been a long introduction. I want to actually give the honor, because I'm so proud of Tanishta for what she's done, but I want her to actually tell you what she has done within Deep Kapha and her own, and I think I should make a joke, her own pet project, and and her pet project she's going to talk about. And so here is Tanishta, because you heard me talk a lot, but and I love you guys so much. But here's Dr. Tanishta Mehti.
So hi everyone again. So I'm Tanishta, or just call me Tani. Tanishta is a very long name. So I'll give a brief about myself first. So I did my PhD from University of Calgary about 2 years back. 2018 I graduated. Then I kind of did a postdoc. Also started doing postdoc, but gradually I started liking AI, and I realized AI has a lot of influence in geophysics, and now I can see it has a lot of influence everywhere. So I decided to join Deep Kappa, and working there has been a really amazing experience. I've been part of the management team, and but here I like to talk about Petai, my pet project. So Petai is petrophysics in AI. So in Petai, we'll just show you the web page, but let me just explain a little bit about that. So Petai is basically, we do everything related to Earth. We do energy, alternate energy, and then also we are thinking of also looking into some like outer space stuffs. So what do I mean by that? It's like right now we are working with one or two clients with some kind of with oil and gas mostly, based on seismic analysis and well log analysis, stuff like that. We also have our internal projects where we have actually discovered, invented, I would say, a very cool algorithm that has been doing very well than other algorithms presently available in terms of seismic analysis. We are actually giving a presentation in 2 days' time at GeoConvention Calgary. Um, so that's a cool invention. My team is awesome, and they've been so hardworking, and they're very excited to do very different, innovative stuffs. We have also brought about some concept of domain adaptation that was not there in geophysics, and we'll be publishing a paper very soon regarding that. So this is kind of the cool stuff we do in Petai, and also provide commercial support to companies that definitely need AI. And I mean, oil and gas and any form of unconventional, conventional resources these days do need AI a lot. So yeah, so here is our cool page. It's part of real AI. So the invention that we did in the like the algorithm part is called Earth AdaptNet, which is actually able to classify our faces analysis. Like we did quite a bit of faces analysis for different regions in the Earth, and it was doing much better than existing algorithms right now. We also looking at geothermal energy, trying to apply AI to geothermal energy, find spots for geothermal reservoirs. Also doing the regular kind of oil and gas stuffs like seismic analysis, as I mentioned before, well log analysis and all. But also we are always trying to create some innovative stuffs and be more research based. Like that's what Maya and my team is more focused. We really love research, and bringing out new stuffs is what our mission is. And that's one of the reasons that we are like, it's also been integrated to Hive, which Gary will talk about, and how cool we'll be talking about our research and taking into Hive and that way. So yeah, so this is GeoConvention. If anyone is here presenting at GeoConvention, we have a presentation on 21st of September at Machine Learning 1. I believe that's the session name. My teammate Kwame would be presenting there. So yeah, if you have a chance, please visit. And yeah, that's about it. Terry, do we want to go through our course now? Or because
Sure.
I can talk about what we are teaching and then talk about my week 2, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let me do that immediately. So, in the beginning, when you hear something like Project Petai, it seems like, okay, the last couple of days or weeks these guys worked. I just wanted to give a bit of a background. So Tanishta, she's worked for close to a year actually pushing this initiative internally within Deep Kappa. Making projects succeed, whether even if it's a startup like ours or a big company, you have to be extremely focused, dedicated, and you shouldn't give up. Those are not the skills anybody can teach you around uh, being a data scientist. Those are the sort of skills you can only get when you work with peers. I think I mentioned it yesterday as well. For me, I get tremendous amount of energy. I am really extremely exhausted when I go to bed, But the energy that I get when I'm talking to Tanishta, when I'm talking to May, when I'm talking to our team, it becomes it kind of creates this culture of building a product or a solution together, because you don't want to give up. And sometimes someone is saying, I don't know, I'm tired, I'm taking a few days off. Then you pick it up from them, and that's how you work together as a team. That is that part I will explain in a bit of detail when I talk about the hive projects. So hive projects being just like the beehives in the bee. And we will also obviously teach you Petai. So don't worry too much about it. If you are looking at the webpage that we just showed you, it's on realai.eu, and you want to look at our Earth Sciences project Petai, don't be intimidated by it. There's a research paper, etc. But Tanishta will explain that when we go into that hive section of our Applied AI Essentials program. So having said that, let me just share the screen on the page that I can sign up for you guys. So basically, let me do this here. It's a simple operation, but sometimes I have to focus properly to make sure that. All right, and Chrome tab and Waitlist. So the most important thing is, it's important to, if you are interested in whatever that I'm going to be explaining to you in the next 5 to 10 minutes, hopefully not long, you can get the full detail here. So here, you can get the detail of our full brochure. It's fully prepared for you to get a full understanding of what the 5 weeks are going to be. I will give you a walkthrough as well. So you get a real sort of a look and feel into it. It's not just some text on a document you will download. And then the curriculum is also there. So you have the brochure if you want to push this into your community, inside your company. Maybe your boss or learning development manager is looking for some people to follow a real world applied AI projects. They should be able to sort of, you feel free to distribute this inside your company. You want to follow this yourself. This is a remote program. So LiveAI is a European educational initiative. And what that means is we want to make sure that we make this available for people all around the world. But our core value systems is around how we have sort of created academic sort of ecosystems in Europe. And the most important thing is also about data protection. There will be many programs that we will be launching, such as explainable AI, but I will not go into that right now. So basically, you can download the brochure and the curriculum here. You just have to go to liveai.eu. I think it's also already there on LinkedIn's sort of description, which I just sent. And there are 13 days remaining. What that means is on the 3rd of October, we are hoping, and obviously fingers crossed, we are hoping to make all the whole platform ready for you. It's all already prepared, just making sure that it works for you guys. You can join the waitlist. So for example, if you click here, you can get, it goes to your email. So it's not going to go into some random email. You have to put a legitimate email, just telling you, just in case you want to just download. So if you're just browsing, probably maybe it's not going to help. So make an email which you follow, which you read. So we can also give you more information. And here in the waitlist, if you click here, you go to a form, and we ask you in your form, for example, I can show you as well. Maybe it's good to give you a walkthrough into that as well, because that helps you kind of understand what that form looks like. So let's see, and waitlist. There it is. So you get this form, and it's very simple, straightforward. So basically, first name or your full name, preferably, your email address, occupation, where you are, which time zone. It's very important. I'll explain why that is important, because from the live perspective, how we will run this blended learning platform. And then these are the projects we will be running in our Hive projects. I will not go into the climate, neuroscience, and healthcare for now. I want Tanishta to focus on what she means when she says AI in energy. So this is that form. I just want to go back to the other slide as I open. So let me just log into our beta site, which actually is currently being tested, and that gives you a bit of an idea on how the platform is going to look like. So let me share this with you guys very quickly again. Share the screen, the tab, and there you go. So here, this is a beta that is starting already next week. So I'm actually kind of sweating, like, okay, I need to prepare a lot of stuff myself for the students and learners. If you're a student anywhere in the world, you can still apply. It's really heavily discounted. It's dramatically heavily discounted. It's going to cost you like 50, I think, bucks, not much. It's just 50 euros. That's close to $55 or something. It's not much. You get 1 week of training on the whole deep learning section. I will go through that. So I just want to sort of log in here. I'm already logged in myself. I'm just going to my dashboard here. And let me just, all right. So this is me, obviously, and with the course that I'm enrolled in is here. And this is all my profile, enrolled courses, everything else. I'm sure if you played with work with different LMS, it's not any different, except for a couple of our features on personalization, immersion, and also our Hive programs. And obviously, you will have all these things. So you get your own score, you know where you are and which course you have already been subscribed to. If I go here, oh, that doesn't work. I need to go back. I need to click this one, because I jump onto a new screen. All right, so here, so this is a course. So our Applied AI Essentials course is actually 5 weeks course. That's what we are talking about right now. So in the 5 weeks course, it is a fundamental course. It's actually for beginners and intermediate. We have put it intermediate, but it's for also beginners. You have theory lectures here. We have guided notebooks and also graded notebooks, which we want to make sure that there is a degree of automation, but also a degree of personalization, in which you will see me, you will see Tanishta, you will see me, you will see Dr. Dimitris, you will see also Stefano. There's a new postdoc who's also joining our team. They will be giving comments. So you will see who's commenting and what people are saying about what you did, and why did that go well and all that. So it's a very interactive and a very personal way of giving you feedback. It's not just like I upload my Jupyter notebook and then I'll get some score. If I get 100% score, is it really 100%? And what is the feedback I'm getting? So we'll be very honest in giving you feedback to help you learn. So you're not just copying, pasting code from someone else. And specifically, we want to make sure that you learn, right? And then obviously, that's why you have live sessions with the instructors as well. So each week, we have live sessions. So let me just describe 1 week, for example. And let's go and talk about this. So this, in terms of course, there's going to be a lot coming, obviously. So in the program overview, you will have me here sort of giving you an introduction into, what LiveAI is, and then give you a program overview. And all these things are going to be coming here in great detail. So you get to actually see what is coming in your direction. The week 1 is basics. So it's about fundamentals, right? So the week 1 is all about fundamentals, and we give you a refresher course. You don't have to be a super hi-fi, Python or Java programmer. If you have basic understanding of writing sort of simple, lines of code, actually Python is very, very powerful in terms of writing actually interesting multiple lines code in a single line. And it's very English savvy language, so it becomes very easy for you to actually kind of literally ask and question on a Jupyter notebook. So that's for the beginners. If you're feeling oh wow, I mean it's do I need to know programming? No, you need to have basic understanding. Obviously, you need to have some fundamental understanding of mathematics. When we say mathematics, just linear algebra, matrices, and basic fundamental understanding of probability. And those are the kind of things we will also give you. Obviously, it's all part of it. So if you don't worry about it. We'll take care of this for you. You have this week in which you have a live session. So there's always a live session halfway in the week in which we are checking with you. So are you doing okay? And are you going to be doing okay as the week progresses, right? And then I go into some details around the approaches of real world machine learning, deep learning, and getting your data ready. So we're basically getting you prepared for actually the next coming weeks. And then we help you sort of talk about you working on your machine learning problem. And then there is a weekend project. And in the weekend project, that's a graded assignment. And then we go into the next week, which is machine learning solutions. Let me hand over to Tanishta already, and then let her sort of give you a description while I scroll it for her.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Terry.
So here you go.
So yeah, so this is a week where we'll be teaching you machine learning. So this is like a full starting from data cleaning to doing classification regression problems or maybe clustering problems. And then also we'll also give you an example how to do deployment. So it's a full machine learning pipeline. So the week starts with statistics and probability. So I mean, you need a basic knowledge, but we'll be teaching over here. Carrie will be giving a lecture first, and then we'll have a graded notebook here. Then it follows with regression model, bias, variance, the stuff that we really need to understand for machine learning. Then we'll go to machine learning classifications and have like an understanding of classification problems, supervised, unsupervised learning, and stuff like that. So every time you'll be having a notebook that will where you can just scroll through and you can understand what it's doing. That's not actually graded, but it's for your learning purpose. We'll be providing you a lot of teaching materials too. So if you have questions, you can just look around it. But one thing that we really need to mention is we have an awesome team of school year TAs. So who will be assisting you if you have any kind of question, and anytime like with me, they'll be assisting you if, in any time for any kind of questions. So it's a kind of a kind of a fun learning. We'll be learning from you too, I believe, definitely. And so the last day is a framework assignment where we'll be just teaching how to do a total pipeline. And the last day will be a graded assignment like week one. We'll be also walking you through with this assignment. Also, the data set that we'll be using for this entire week, and especially on weeks on the graded assignment, is actually um, a real world data set. It's a liver cancer blood sample data set that we worked last year on. So we'll be providing this data set to you. It's not actually publicly available. It's more academic, and it has been collected from many Chinese hospitals before. So yeah, it's a real world data. So it will be a little bit difficult to classify, and then we can walk you through how you do those classifications when you have a real world problem, not a clean data set. So yeah, that's basically it for week 2. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Awesome. So, hey, Giovanna, good to have you here as well. And I'll keep answering the questions as well. Ayman, you can join the beta version. So it's 1 week. Let me go to that week. So it's actually, your question comes right in time. Okay, let's just go to that week. So this is the week 2. And yes, thank you, Tanishta. You mentioned probably the most important ingredient, which I, in all the excitement, forgot to mention. So the schoolyard concept is actually guided to make sure that we are going to be using 2 tools. There's a lunch relay and there's hallway. These 2 tools are going to be useful in our TAs who are also our own people. So these are not people randomly picked up. So these are our own people from Deep Kappa. For example, Dat is visiting researcher as well as schoolyard TA. He's right now studying in UTD Dallas. We have Giovanni. So we have Giovanni, who is our visiting researcher, also from Italy. He's focused around computer vision, object OCR, and also he's going to be part of our schoolyard TA team. We have Shaumik, we have Shivam, who's also been fundamental in actually, these are all machine learning engineers within our company, visiting machine learning engineers. And then we have also researchers like May, we have Tanishta, we have Dimitris, and we also have some new guys joining. Stefano is, again, a wonderful researcher who's coming on board. And there are some fascinating people who are coming, actually. People who have published in NIPS and in neural IPS, in NeurIPS, as it's called these days, in Canada. These people are going and working with, world's leading researchers and develop applications in computer vision and NLP. All these things are coming. So to your question, yes, if you're interested, you can join this. You just have to, like I said, go to that page and apply, and your email comes to us, and we make sure that we give you a private enroll link. It's not publicly available, and there you get a very heavy discount. So it's for this week only, just to be very specific. So what is this week going to be? Similar to as Tanisha mentioned, so I always create a video on a Sunday, the last Sunday, and open the session, giving you a welcome. And so welcoming you from the first week and the second week. And then in this week, obviously, it's not this week I should be talking about. It's this week. So introduction. And in the introduction, then I go into building the deep learning models, helping you understand what the ecosystem is around deep learning, giving you a good perspective around computer vision. That is the big daddy of all that object detection, object classification, segmentation, whether it is doing facial recognition or classifying data on a document, on a PDF, or identifying cancer. So in this week, we're going to be looking at malaria and other projects as well. Malaria is going to be a graded assignment, so detecting malaria. Obviously, each day there's going to be hands-on code-along exercise. So you can build your deep learning model, and then I talk about introduction to convolution neural network, as I mentioned, is the big daddy of computer vision, going to the details and internal workings of computer vision. Just to give you a bit of an example as well, we have also invented our own algorithms. One of our past researchers who's actually working for a very cool startup in Texas right now, he invented an activation function. It's also there on our Deep Kappa research page. Take a look at it whenever you feel like. So we will keep giving you perspectives around understanding the convolution neural networks from a practitioner perspective. Because what happens is you start learning stuff, and then you just start applying those things, and you just think, okay, let me use this activation function. Let me just use regularization. But what we're trying to teach you is each data set that you get and that you build. Actually, you have to create a data set. The real world doesn't have a data set prepared for you. We have to work really hard to create those data sets. How to build the data set, and then eventually start realizing, oh, hang on. So actually, this technique doesn't work. Mask RCNN is not working. Some other technique is not working. How do I actually sort of go around this problem? And this is what the applied AI trainings are, which is what we've been giving for the last couple of years. So anyways, getting back to this topic, like I said, somewhere in the middle of the week, when we understand the time zones, as I mentioned, we always have this live session. It's a private live sessions with the cohorts, and all these schoolyard TAs. They're going to make sure that we are bringing you into hallways, and then giving you, also have lunch relay, allowing you to actually interact with each other, to actually learn. So that's the social engagement part, which has been a dream of mine for 20 years. I cannot reveal too many things, but there is a fascinating product development pipeline that is on the kernel of our LiveAI platform. We are talking to people who are really interested in building this platform so that it becomes a social engagement platform. Interactive Jupyter notebook that allows you to actually interact with us, and we can interact with you, is one cool feature which we will be launching. So that's like fascinating. And these are all geared towards that blended learning, which is I've been repeating. Anyway, so then we go into recurrent neural networks. They probably maybe are taking a little bit of a beating because of GPT, but believe me, they still are heroes when it comes to doing time series, forecasting, etc. And we'll give you all kinds of interesting sort of perspective, helping you understand first theory, and then we do code along, and then the day ends. Then the next day we go into language models. We understand a little bit more about the language models. And then we have this weekend project, which is a graded project. So you can do that as well. And there's obviously quizzes as well, which I didn't mention. And these quizzes are just to basically help you kind of grade it. And then we have Hive projects. In Hive, maybe I'll sort of ask Tanisha to give a little bit of a perspective from this energy question, which one of you had asked. Let me just put that. I believe, yeah, I think it's a good, yes, this, so Karthikeyan had this question. So maybe Tanisha can give you a walkthrough of her own journey, why she picked up energy, how she's been building her capability and literally world leadership in terms of inventing this model. I mean, it's fascinating, and we are doing this just together with a handful of people. And then how she wants to teach you in that specific Hive project I showed you in the application form. So go ahead, Tanisha.
Yeah. So, well, interesting question. Okay. Um, so, okay. So my background in energy. So my background in energy starts from my undergrad days. So I did my undergrad from IT Kharagpur in so it's called exploration geophysics. So that's where I started my journey with energy. I then did my master's, PhD, everything related to geophysics, computational geophysics. So that's way I was in energy. I did, yeah, honestly, it was not actually AI application in any of my like undergrad, master's, or PhD programs. But then, when I was in my PhDs, there was many papers coming in which were applying AI, trying to automate stuff in many other industries. So that way, I kind of started my journey, and then I tried to build some of my own models that way. But then when I kind of joined Deep Kappa, that's where me and my team we started looking at the real world problems, real world data set, and applying the AI application to it. Mostly, we started building like good deep neural network architectures that would be like an improvement to the existing architecture. If people know, there's been a challenge from PSG. They wanted to look at salt domes. This challenge, I believe, happened in 2017, and from there on, this application of AI in oil and gas industry started booming. So that was a unit, but now now it has gone very far. We've been implementing many different stuffs along with View unit. We have actually developed much better architecture to look at these stuffs. So that is my journey in AI. But let me talk about how Petai and Hive is connected. So what we will do in Hive is basically we have worked on these architectures and also other solutions in geophysics, like in terms of AI, machine learning, for quite a while now. And then we'll give you this how we build it. Like we'll give you a sneak peek of how we built it. We'll also actually kind of show you the presentation that maybe like the presentation and other like publications we have made around it, so you'll understand that this is how a real world problem is solved. It will give you a data set what we actually use for this understanding, so you will know how to build it in actually 2 weeks time, like on what we did for a year. So we'll know how you can build it. It will be of course you are like we are more than welcome to also make any improvement or any changes, play around with the data set, but we'll give you all the kind of information that we did for making these projects work. Some of them would be a commercial project too, so we'll be showing you how we went around with it. So this is mostly a concept that is Hive. So we'll be also, like myself personally and my Scholia TS will be also helping you to go around the data set, understand it, and also go around how we started building that. So yeah, that is mostly what energy AI is all about in Hive. Hope you'll enjoy that.
Awesome. Wonderful. I think, and these are the personal journeys that actually that's going to make things more realistic for you. And the immersion is going to come because you don't teach people some things within a matter of days. And especially if you're a MOOC platform where there is zero interaction, people are not sharing their life stories. And for example, I won't go into detail now, but in the last 20 years, I have 25 plus years experience in the industry, and I've done a lot of interesting things. In the last 20 years, I've gone through also these bad recessionary environments. It literally drains any enthusiasm out of you. I have been there twice. The first time I had little kids. My son was just born. 9/11 happened. He was 3 months old. And I was fired. Fine. I mean, not fired, but my contract was not extended. But still, I mean, it was not extended. We were very close to losing our home in the next few months. So that's why I realized when people say this, it's not a joke. I had 6 months of unemployment benefits because I was just new in this country. This is 2001. And that's no one is going to talk about that. I'm not sugarcoating this, the whole thing. We know what it is, what it takes. We know who takes the brunt of all these risks. So, but the thing is, I also believed that I had to invest myself in technologies. And I will explain that in a much later detail. We will make a special video so you understand that is what real world coaching is. Real world coaching is not that you get 2 hours of mentorship session with some guy who's never actually experienced joblessness. I have. And I fought my way out. I learned a new technology. I found myself on top of the hill, and I found myself again falling at the bottom of the hill. That's what a career journey looks like. It is not sort of a garden of roses or only hell. You shouldn't think that way. But the only thing is you have to keep focusing on your skills. What are the new skills that are coming? They may not be new jobs today, but later there are lots of jobs. So if you just reach out to me personally, I will give you my own sort of perspectives. I always am open on LinkedIn, so that's why we created this revolution. But anyways, I wanted to, yes, thank you. So I believe, there's a thanks, Tanishta, for answering your question. Let's just go back to, so, we just want to make sure, because there's another question from Marcin, and she's asking, Marcella, my apologies, Marcella, so you just have to go on the wait list, Marcella, and you get an early sort of, all the people who are on the wait list are the ones who get preference for this early discount. On 3rd October, which is just, as you can see here, only 13 days, then the wait list goes away, because we have to really work hard to make sure that we fill the class. We have to prepare everything. So if you're an early believer, the first, I guess, close to about 60 to 75 people, we want to make sure that we will give you this discount. So, if you're in that wait list, we'll send you the enrollment, and the ones who will take that enrollment and eventually apply, they're the ones who will be getting the discount. So go ahead, Marcella, please apply for it. And I'm hoping that I'm going to give you the same experience that I'm trying to explain today in these few words together with my colleague, Tanishta. What else? So there is, people have been asked.
Could probably mention the healthcare part of it, Farhai.
Sure, absolutely. So the healthcare project is going to be on breast cancer, but not the breast cancer data set that you have publicly available. We will teach you some interesting techniques around using machine learning and deep learning to understand, analyze, balance the data set, and use interesting techniques like transfer learning, etc. And these data sets are actually have been curated by us, and we've created these. So we are hoping that we give you a full sort of, support around helping learn about how to solve the problem of identifying, classifying, and eventually you all will be given the opportunity to build an app, whether it is fast API, or is it Streamlit, or maybe some other tool of yours as well. So we'll encourage that as well. And that's where you actually also will shine in whether yourself as an individual or as a team. So we want to make sure that happens as well. And what else? Did I miss anything, Tanishta?
I think we covered.
I can talk about.
Go for the graded part, maybe.
Yes. Yes, the graded part, obviously. So the whole purpose of these 5 weeks is each week has a graded session. So in the end, you actually have, let's say, week 1, week 2, week 3, 3 graded sessions. And then I can just show you the graded part indeed, actually. So maybe that shows you how it looks like. But I mean, it's just a formality. But just wanted to kind of give you a perspective. I'm going back as a student into my portal. And let's see, and if I'm on my course, you can see here as well. This will be your individual pane. If there are some internal announcements, we're going to make sure that you have these. And eventually, the purpose is the grade book. So essentially, every sort of grading that you're doing, the results, etc., will all be coming here. In my case, I guess I did very poorly. I didn't do the grading, but you can see here. So there's a graded assignment, and I'm hoping it'll be great for you guys. We'll help you, so don't worry. But the purpose is to actually learn and do your best in this, the quizzes as well. So this is just a test version. So this is how you're also you're up to date with this session as well. And obviously, when you have signed up, for example, this is a date for the next week's students in the Unity Dallas beta, which is still worldwide. You guys can still apply, but it's only 1 week, by the way. So here, then you can keep unlocking your sessions, and as you proceed into your course, which I'm sure you're used to if you have been, I guess, obviously you must have followed other programs. The difference between these programs and ours, obviously, is we are providing our school year TA support 24/7, meaning in the US, European, and Asia time zone. We are constantly making sure that we are encouraging you to continue to keep pushing you to finish your assignments. So this session is recorded, Pranav. You can obviously watch it, and we will share the links later. Our marketing team will share the links for you to watch this session. So I guess, let me just summarize everything. So it was important for me to tell you the mission. I probably spent 10 or 11 minutes talking about my mission because I have never left this, this field of academia in a way. I never wanted to. I wanted to create this sense of, applied and real-world business skills development. I mean, 15 years ago, no one was interested in AI, but it's important for us to realize that, theoretical trainings don't bring you jobs in professional market, no matter how great you are in theoretical trainings, because you need to learn different skills. How we are going to change that is in Hive projects. We will make sure that you literally see that as a customer project. There's going to be a proper statement of work. You will have to comply to a couple of things, and then that way you will really feel that you're actually doing a project for a customer. I am going to be personally there. Tanisha is going to be there personally. May is going to be there. Dimitris is going to be there. And all this team I just showed you in the walkthrough is going to be there. And I think it's really important to realize that this is where the personalization makes sense. Second, you get a certification, so it's not just something you follow and you get a certification. Third, I make sure that we give recommendations to you, so you're actually you get us more than support. It's not just some random digital signature of some guy called Terry. It is about me working with you to try to give you, help you go forward next. Third, if you have, if you're outperforming, for example, in Hive projects we have in healthcare, in climate, in neuroscience, and in energy. Now, if you're a top performer and you have actually gone into doing all these projects, we will recommend you for paid programs with our partner network. So today we are in conversations with one of the leading publisher, and I'm about to strike a deal with this leading publisher to give you the opportunity to make thousands of euros or dollars from our recommendation, because we will recommend that these students are capable of actually working with you on your projects, and we cannot divulge the name of that project because right now we are still working on our partnership, but that will give you the opportunity to actually apply your learning And that is, you can teach other people on their platform. So basically, we want to convert as many of you into professionals who can actually go into the industry. So there is a way for you to actually start getting return on investment and actually learn some real stuff. We will push you into recommendation ecosystem. I believe, Eamon, you asked a question, so I think it makes a perfect sense to answer this question, and I will give you a very honest answer. So will I be able to join a giant tech company after completing this curriculum? I don't know. That's the real answer. The fake answer is this: sure, you're going to get a job. That's a lie. Why I'm telling you I don't know is I don't know how you will perform in this program. In this 5 weeks program, if you have been able to perform exactly how I mentioned you, it is going to happen for sure. We have connections in big companies, and we will recommend you. But it's not going to happen if you have just completed the curriculum and you have not been able to kind of follow the training principles that we are applying. So that's why the answer is I don't know. But nevertheless, each and every learner on our platform is going to get a personal recommendation because you will complete your program. If you exceed the expectations and if you're making great sort of progress, then there is, of course, yes is the answer. You will be able to join. So our networks are also not just open for everybody. We just make sure that if you have learned, you give us an honest feedback and say, actually, this is great. In 5 weeks, I learned so much. Actually, I want to learn more about computer vision. Where do I go? Or there is another project I want to do in NLP. So I think it's important for you to realize that the effort is always going to be yours. We are creating everything to make sure that the effort becomes not, the preparation doesn't become your problem. We bring everything together so you can start actually have a very focused, task-focused learning. And from there, you should be able to join those giant tech companies. But no, I'm not going to promise that because, I mean, I can say, okay, Eamon has done an awesome course and I can go to Google, but I think there's a different track to it. In order to help you prepare, those are the personal coaching sessions you will have with me on each week. Those are the live sessions. There we ask questions and we go and target those employers who you want to get a job at, right? There's no blank check out there said, okay, you take a training and there you get a job. I think that's probably a fallacy we should always be very careful about. But what we can guarantee is that the training that you follow with us will help open doors for you, and we will be there behind you and recommending you personally with a recommendation. So that's going to be there. I hope this answers your question, and I hope it's honest enough to not keep you in the dark. That's very important for me to address. Yes. Hi, Jasbir. Good to have you. Good to have you here in Canada. So the beta is starting, Karthikeyan. The beta is starting already next week. So you still have a couple of days to actually respond. 24th September we start. So we're really hurrying to make this beta happen. So you can get a taste of this program already. You can share it with your with your colleagues or with friends who want to join. It's very, very low, inexpensive. The purpose is to help you sort of play with the beta and actually learn and help us actually improve the product. So in a way, you're actually also giving feedback to us because you're a beta tester. And at the same time, you're learning and you get a certification as well. So you will get a certification of achievement. And that's definitely going to be taken care of. Let me answer some more questions. All right. So Mayank Tripathi has a question. Is this developer-oriented, business data analyst-oriented, or in between, covering both parts to the same level? Not sure if this was covered already. Definitely. It is, let's say, actually all the three. Let me describe it in a more structured way. So we start in the week 1, week 2, week 3, that helps you actually understand data, build algorithms, and understand, the king of algorithms today that are in deep learning, computer vision, machine learning, computer vision, NLP. Now, so that covers the aspect of, the data analyst and data scientist. The business aspect comes in when you jump into Hive projects. There, we literally ask you to, do a presentation and actually talk about and explain about how you actually came to a solution. So you're doing presentation skills. You're actually understanding this project from a statement of work perspective. You're actually literally working for a client, essentially. So that perspective is going to come in. Presentation skills will be measured. And essentially, these are the ones that will play a big role in us in grading you. So that is super important, and we will address that. So there will be a business aspect to what you create. And how do you create the business aspect is by developing a solution or a useful prototype, some kind of a visual tool that helps you actually present this to business, because businesses don't care about you learning Python or PyTorch or TensorFlow. That is secondary. The most important thing is for you to actually build this product and create some kind of a visual tool, a graphical user interface, and there you explain in your project case, this is how I built it. So that way you actually satisfy the need of a data scientist working in their own data domain. And at the same time, you're presenting your end product, or at least a prototype. It doesn't have to be a product, obviously. In 5 weeks, you cannot build a product. But a prototype already gives you confidence that you can take this either if you're employed to your business manager. If you're looking for a job, maybe Amen, that is an answer. Then you can start actually presenting your solutions. You can start creating your nice interactive web pages and actually present that. So it all depends on how you are going to work. And we will make sure that we enable that for you all. So you're able to actually go on that path, and it's a path for each and every one of you. And that's the guarantee that we definitely are going to give, to make sure that you go through all these domains in a structured manner. Awesome. So I guess we are close to an hour. I guess this gives you a bit of an idea around how we are going to sort of bring personalization, immersion, and also applied AI learning into this project. Any last thoughts, Tanishta? Is there something you want to add?
Okay.
Awesome. So I thank you all. It was wonderful. It was great to have you guys here, and we're really looking forward to having you guys. Do please, take a look at the link here. Make sure, I'll just keep this again. So just make sure that you can download the brochure, you can download the curriculum, and you can join the waitlist. The waitlist is going to go away in a matter of 13 days if you want to follow a full program. And if not, the beta link is available here, and I can post it in a LinkedIn post as well later. So you can join the beta program, and there you get that 1 week, the week number 3 deep learning program for us. So thanks once again. Take care. Have a great weekend. And obviously, I'm preparing to make sure that this project is going to go ahead. So I'll be getting back to my desk and keep preparing our training material for you guys. And I look forward to see you guys either next week in the class or 1st November, guaranteed. Let's make this a promise, and take care and stay safe. Times are really difficult right now again for all of us. And hopefully, we are able to get past this very difficult period. In the next couple of 3 months is going to be difficult again. So stay safe in Corona period, and love each other, but don't touch each other and don't hug too much. All right, guys. Take care. We love you guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.